This is a Kichler low voltage transformer for landscape lighting. Clearly states that. The model number is on the side here. It's K15CPE 600 AZT, which basically is 600 watt. There's two outputs and it is 240 international model. It's difficult to find information on this one. There's a clock here for setting. There's some on-off switches. I have not gone looking for the manual to see exactly how they work. And there's two separate feed out. So essentially, pretty good of them to actually give common 12, 13, 15. You normally get 12, 13, sometimes you get 12, 13, 14. 15 is pretty good. That allows you to do long runs because the voltage drop at lower voltage is much higher because the current is a lot higher. And you get I squared R losses. So the current being higher, again, you have the problems here. With this being at 600, I would assume 300 by 300. Not too sure if it's 600 available on all or 3 by 3. And again, 300 watts at that voltage. Let's say we were to do 12. That's 8 amps per 100. Let's say. So yeah, that's 24 amps. I don't know, probably 25 amps on this. So yeah, quite significant. The voltage drop goes as you go, and then landscapes tend to be very far. Lighting tends to go around, sometimes a couple 100 feet. So again, I assume this is on and off for one side, on and off for the next side. I'm not sure what this is for. They've said loop wire for timing, for testing, and then they said 2.6 amps on the primary. The cable isn't the biggest in the world. That looks like it's probably 0.75 mil. Maybe, well, it's international colors, harmonized colors, it's not American. So that again gives away that this is most likely a 240 system. So let's open it. This is an interesting time clock and very interesting. So you turn this and the time turns, and then it seems that these buttons can actually come out. So if you notice, I can pull these down. So I guess that sets that it comes on from here to here. Very interesting that it still actually works, considering that this would have been out for 10 years outside. Not in the direct sunlight, but definitely outside. It appears to have just a screw on this side and a screw on the other side, which I think will take off this panel. But this top panel, it seems to be riveted at the back, where the tab that holds it on the top is riveted, so I may have to drill out that. And then this tab is part of the actual base and material of it, so that doesn't actually come off. But I think if I drill off it up, I will get in, as I said, 600 watt transformer, time clock, probably some tests, probably some jumpers. Maybe have to dig into the manual to find the manual to begin with, assuming I can find the manual for this. If you search this number, it's very, very difficult to find on the net. It's the international model, so as you would expect. So let's open it. Let's see what else it has. I think it's just a transformer, some connectors to come on. Not sure if this goes to a relay, or if this in itself is built to be able to switch that kind of power. So yeah, let's take a peep. And then if this is a bypass or not. I mean, that's what I would assume it to be, a bypass. So you put it on, the power comes on, you can test, you take it off, well, it works by the clock. My assumption. Let's take a look and see. This is interesting. Basically, there was no way I would have ever gotten this to power on the top, even though I drilled out the rivets at the back. This thing is potted. This is the transformer core. The rest of it is potted, and they've used actually stones to reduce the amount of epoxy. An interesting approach, I must admit. Very interesting approach. Okay, looking at the wiring, we have the incoming mains here, and that goes to two different contacts. So we have live there, and we have neutral. Let me see if I find neutral. This is neutral here, with white. Neutral has gone to the motor. Neutral has also gone to what turns out to be test points, actually, so that's great of them. And neutral has gone straight to the transformer. So neutral is not switched, which makes sense, perfectly fine. Live has two black leads coming out. One has gone to the motor direct, one has gone to the test point. So the transformer is not on, until the time clock puts it on. What they've also done now is they have a red, which I assume is, which makes sense actually to be the live coming out from this motor. Again, that's at a test point, so you can test live and neutral correct, and then the live that is to be switched again from this test point. So it makes sense. This is the switched live. When the time clock switches on, it switches, it goes now, and then they've crimped it over to a red, and that goes to the transformer. So the transformer now has live and neutral. The earth is on the body, again very sensible, and that earth goes up to the transformer in this green. So there we go, that's live, earth, neutral to the transformer. Coming off the transformer, both are identical, so both feeds are identical. I assume they are not connected, and we'll test that. And this is our common. The switch the common on. So the common is switched, again sensible, because each of these feeds are separate. So the common is switched and it's identical on the next side. So switch common, we have yellow for 12, we have the black for 13, we have the red for 15, and as I said, I assume this purple was a 14, which they have not used. They both are completely identical each side, and it's just a switch. So relatively simple. The one last thing to investigate, are these two connected? I think they're probably not. I would suspect it's two independent coils, but let's test that. After testing, it turns out these are actually connected. So maybe there's two independent coils, maybe there's one coil and it's split into two feed outs, but these are all connected. So you could get the 600 watts from just one set of terminals if you wanted to. In fact, probably just off the common and 12 if you needed to do that.